Imagine a building that dwarfs even the largest buildings in existence today. A building that spans 2 kilometers into the sky. Saudi Arabia's planned mega tall tower is a project that pushes the limits of engineering and design. It is driven by this bold vision. But building a tower that big comes with its own set of problems. We'll talk about how they plan to deal with problems like wind resistance, elevator service, and even the idea of a building itself. Will this building really become a reality? If it does, do we have to be scared of anything? Join us as we talk about the clever fixes that are being thought of to make this 2-kilometer monster a reality. This is one of the most risky projects Saudi Arabia has ever started. And this comes from the people who made Neom, a future utopia. Foster & Partners, the architecture firm run by Norman Foster, is planning to build the world's largest building, which will be 2 kilometers tall. It would be much taller than Dubai's Burj Khalifa, which is 828 meters tall. The British magazine Architects Journal says the skyscraper will be built near Riyadh International Airport, which is north of the Saudi city. Foster's studio is also remodeling the capital. As of now, there are no pictures or details about the design that show how it will look. The Dubai building, the Burj Khalifa, is 828 meters tall and was finished in 2010. This building would be more than twice as tall. Contractors in the area say that any tower 2 kilometers tall would cost around $5 billion to build. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the biggest building in the world, standing at 828 meters. Saudi Arabia is in the middle of a building and mega-project boom, with many projects already in the works. KSA's King Salman International Airport will soon be one of the biggest airports in the world. That's what it wants to be. At the moment, King Fahd International Airport in the kingdom is the largest airport in the world by size. The airport will have 6 parallel runways and existing buildings named after King Khalid. It will cover an area of about 57 kilometers squared. In other parts of the kingdom, Saudi Arabia is building the $500 billion megacity Neom, a high-end ski lodge, and The Line, a 170-kilometer-long city of the future that will not have any roads. The only other buildings in the world that are taller than 800 meters are the Burj Khalifa and the Jeddah Tower. You can see that the floors of both of them are shaped like propellers or 3-pronged stars. When it first opened in 1976, the CN Tower in Toronto was the first building of its kind. One of the benefits of having a core shaped like a blade is that it makes the sail very stable and resistant to wind. At the same time, the number of buttresses that need to be in the core of the building severely limits the amount of room that can be used inside. Because of this, the CN Tower, which has most of its people living on the floors at the very top, did not have any problems. Tall buildings like the Burj Khalifa, the Jeddah Tower, and other towers, on the other hand, have to make this trade-off. Engineers just haven't found a better way to build something that tall with the tools and materials they have access to now. A less strong core design, on the other hand, can be made up for with other parts. As the height of a skyscraper rises, it becomes more exposed to wind damage. These things happen because of the lever action that horizontal forces at the top of a building make. A lot of other buildings, like the 632-meter-tall Shanghai Tower, have curved outside construction. This gives the building a nice shape and also helps block wind along the whole length of the tower. The architects of a 2-kilometer-long building could think about these possible options. However, there's an important thing to keep in mind. All of these features have been made for buildings that are a little more than half the height of the skyscraper than Saudi Arabia wants to build. However, it remains to be seen whether any of these combos will be enough. About materials and foundations. With a background spanning decades, Peter Weismantel is the consulting director of super tall building technologies for the Chicago-based Adrian Smith and Gordon Gill architecture firm. The 88-story Jin Mao Tower in Shanghai was designed by him and his colleagues at Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, or SOM. He joined the Burj Khalifa team in 2003 and is now their senior technical architect. He collaborated in the design of the Jeddah Tower after leaving SOM to work with Adrian Smith, the architect of the Burj Khalifa. Because of his extensive background, Weismantel is knowledgeable with the technical aspects of designing extremely tall buildings. Furthermore, he believes that the construction industry is capable of constructing structures up to 2 kilometers in height and beyond. Other considerations, however, take precedence. Weissmantel is more sure that builders and construction companies will be able to build even taller buildings. 2 kilometers sounds pretty reasonable to him. Is it the limit? I doubt it, he adds. The 1 kilometer tall Jeddah Tower project has been put on hold, but Saudi Arabia has plans for a 2 kilometer tall tower. The buttressed core structure system of Burj Khalifa is made up of hexagonal concrete walls that support each other. Weissmantel thinks that concrete is the best material for building very big things, mostly because it is heavy. Weight is good for tall buildings because it helps fight the wind. You plan for wind in big buildings, even ones that are likely to be hit by earthquakes. When the wind hits a building, it excites it perpendicular to the direction of the wind because of the vortex shedding. Concrete is really good because of its mass, it gives a natural dampening. The hard metamorphic base in New York, where Weissmantel grew up and first became interested in tall buildings, is perfect for supporting the weight of tall buildings. But in other parts of the world, the ground conditions mean that the foundations for very big buildings need a lot of construction work. Both Burj Khalifa and Jeddah Tower are built on foundations made of friction piles and a 4-meter deep mat that ties all the piles. This is because there is no bedrock close to the surface. The friction piles in the Jeddah Tower were 105 meters deep. Conditions like these make it technically possible, but they also raise the cost. Ahmad Abdelrazak used to be in charge of the high-rise and complex building section at Samsung C&T Corporation. He left to start his own company, Rise Global. He worked at SOM on the Burj Khalifa's plans before going to work for Samsung on the project. He also worked on the 679-meter-tall Merdeka 118 building in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This means that he designed and built the world's tallest and second tallest buildings. According to him, normal weight concrete is the rule right now, but ultra-high performance materials like steel fiber reinforced concrete can make buildings lighter while also making them stiffer, stronger, and more tensile. He does say that building rules aren't quite up to speed on what high-performance materials can do yet, which limits how construction teams can use them inside buildings. Still, as a visiting professor at Seoul National University in South Korea, he has worked with students to think about how current very tall towers could be redesigned to use new materials and building methods. He says that using fiber-reinforced concrete instead of regular concrete could cut the weight of the Jeddah Tower by 30% if it were built in the same way. Besides lowering the amount of carbon that is built into the building, that would also make it stronger, last longer, and be less likely to be damaged by earthquakes, since a building's seismic load is based on its weight. Other Saudi Arabia megaprojects, King Salman International Airport. It is anticipated that King Salman International Airport, which is designed by Foster & Partners, would be one of the largest airports in the world. It will encompass an area of roughly 57 kilometers squared, and will be able to accommodate 6 parallel runways in addition to the terminals that are already in place and are named after King Khalid. In addition, there will be a total of 12 kilometers squared worth of mega airport support facilities, residential and recreational facilities, retail outlets, and other real estate related to logistics. It is the goal of the airport to accept up to 120 million passengers by the year 2030, and by the year 2050, will be able to accommodate 185 million passengers with a cargo capacity of 3.5 million tons. The line. People are still arguing about the line. Critics are mainly worried about how it will affect human rights and the environment. NEOM is a big part of Saudi Vision 2030, which aims to grow and expand the kingdom's economy while also leading the way in global development. The line is one of the biggest and trickiest building projects in the world. It will start being built in 2021 as part of NEOM's ongoing growth. The project is a new way to build cities. It covers 170 kilometers and has many communities that are linked to each other and have natural and pedestrian-friendly areas. It puts people and the environment first. Big areas of land have been set aside for conservation. The line covers 34 square kilometers and goes from the coast of the Red Sea to the northwest of Saudi Arabia. Torjena. As a new tourist destination that can be visited all year, Torjena is said to have a ski town, ultra-luxurious family and wellness resorts, a lot of shops and restaurants, and sports activities like a ski slope, water sports, mountain biking, and an interactive nature reserve. What do you think about the 2-kilometer skyscraper? Do you think it would be possible to build? What are the possible problems you think might stop its creation? Drop your opinions in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.